Hi, my name's Joe from GWS Roofing. Welcome to Roofing IQ, the channel where we try to make roofing make sense. Today we're here in Victoria, southwest London, and we've been contacted by a family that own this residential building. They've successfully extended the roof's lifespan for many, many years and have decided to replace the roof. And being that they are landlords, are also using this opportunity to upgrade the building's energy efficiency. Hang around and we'll show you why planning for this ahead of time is the best thing to do when replacing your roof. Okay, so we're up on the main roof now, and as is usually the case with these butterfly roofs, the lead work to the parapet gutters is absolutely paramount. The way that these roofs are designed is that the slates discharge onto the parapet gutters. So although you can repair them, if you're going to replace them, that involves having to disturb the slating above. And then once you start to do that, you're then potentially relying on slate repairs to then reinstate the gutter. So as is often again the case when you're building a scaffold of this size, a complete replacement must include everything to make the warranty all-encompassing. With lead work, there is an awful lot to think about. It's still probably the best product that we use, but in the wrong hands, it can be an expensive mistake. You can see where there's been numerous repairs over the years. I don't actually think this was contributing because this lead work's actually okay despite its age. But things like this step is on the low side. If this becomes submerged, you're going to get water ingress through capillary action here. We're also not sure that this lead is thick enough. So we've seen this green tape. I'm not entirely sure that means it is code 3, but it certainly doesn't feel like code 5. So the longest this bay can be is 2 meters if it is code 5. And it's definitely longer than that. There's a chance it could be code 6, but again, I doubt it due to its thickness. So what happens is it expands and contracts over the years. And you might be able to see here, but this is a ridge. And this ridge forms eventually a split. And once that is split, the water ingress is pretty severe and immediate. Again, a repair here on the lap joint, but I think that's just a guess really at some potential ingress internally that this was contributing when I actually don't think it probably was. With lead work, again, it wants to expand and contract on its own. So whenever you bring mortar directly down to the lead, as we have here and here, this mortar won't last long. What you should see here really is a galvanized bead with the render brought down. We may even bring our lead much, much higher here and completely encapsulate this area with lead. Again, we'll have to get a new gusset detail in here, which will then form the bottom soaker for the slating once it starts. These works are being registered with the NFRC to get our insurance-backed warranty and building control sign-off. Part of that sign-off requires us to insulate to a thickness of 280 mil across the ceiling joists. To find vertical close boarding is fairly unusual. Sometimes, more often than not, we find that the close boarding is horizontal. The sort of modern problem we have with insulating to that thickness on a traditional roof is that when these buildings were built, the insulation wasn't that thick. So by fixing one problem, you're then potentially creating another by potentially increasing the chance of condensation if the roof isn't ventilated properly. Now, thankfully, with this close boarding, the gaps between the boards is actually quite large. We're then also going to use an air open membrane by Clobber called Permo Air on top of this close boarding. But a key factor about fitting that membrane is that before it goes on, we have to run vertical counter battens down the close boarding prior to our horizontal battens being fitted to create a sag. If that membrane's too taut, it won't work as it's supposed to, and you can get tenting and eventually end up having the opposite effect and saturating the boards. So one fairly unique detail about these traditional butterfly roofs is that the front parapet gutter is served by its own outlet, and this central valley is served by the rear. But the way the rainwater travels towards the rear is through the loft cavity. As you can see, this is an open chute. If these aren't maintained and this is blocked, the water ingress can be really quite severe, and I have had a few issues in the past where they haven't been maintained. It's therefore essential that when replacing a roof like this, as well as having skilled pitched roofers, you have skilled lead workers, because to get these central valleys and these internal valleys right is absolutely paramount. when you're replacing a roof like this. So one question that we're often asked is, Joe, how do I know that this job isn't going to then spiral and you're going to find things that are unforeseen? The honest answer is slightly contradictory. It's not unreasonable to find unforeseen works. However, these roofs, especially butterfly roofs, are fairly standard. So the things we see are fairly uniform and generic. So going into the job with at least some even just sensible provisional sums to cover things like masonry repairs, timber rot, extra rubbish. We found 3 water tanks in here, for example, that we weren't expecting. Whether any new flues need to be put through, whether any flues are redundant. Are we going to put a new top on this hatch? Is it staying as it is? Is this Velux able to be reused? Are the flashing kits able to be reused? All conversations that can just be had up front and should be had to create a budget that is sensible and transparent before you start. On a roof replacement such as this, a tin hat, scaffolded temporary roof is absolutely essential, mainly due to the Central Valley gutters and how sensitive those areas are if we were to get any rain at all. In this scenario, we've managed to avoid the need for a licence as we've built the scaffold within the well area. As you can tell, busy day in London, so our barriers are out, safety signage is up, the scaffold is alarmed, and there's an electric hoist due to the height of the building, just because we have such heavy and cumbersome materials and a lot of waste to come down. Thank you for watching Roofing IQ. We hope you found these videos helpful. Please remember to like and subscribe, and we look forward to seeing you on the next one.